What's up, everybody? This is Brown Sugar Confessions coming to you wherever you're getting your listening and your viewing pleasure. We are on Power 1017, and tonight we are talking about a plethora of hot topics. And of course, we got to throw in a little Diddy because it's been a week for Diddy for sure. And some fun stuff about relationships. But if you don't know by now that you should be following us every single where that you can, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, we are there. Like, comment, and follow, and leave us some comments. In addition, send us an email and we might read it on the air. Send it to brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And let's get into tonight's show. So, Miss T, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. A little bit tired. I've had a lot of studying going on my side of town, but it's also the middle of pollen season for Atlanta. So we had a rain a few days ago, and now everything is back to being yellow. So if I sound a little slow and groggy, that's part of the reason why.
Do you have a Benadryl high right now?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I try to stay off of Benadryl because after a while, if you keep taking it for a long time, you can build up a resistance to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
take it
I need to
sparingly.
remember that. Okay. All right. Is anything else going on down there? Anything fun you've been doing? Any parties? Any events?
Nah, just pretty much been hanging at the house.
Okay.
Parties.
All right.
Parties.
Okay.
Parties.
Got it.
Parties.
Well, you're looking fabulous as always. And, we got to get you. Hot Girl Summer's coming. So I know you're going to be up to some shenanigans real soon coming up. And your birthday's coming up, right?
Summer. My birthday is next week.
That is right. We got to give Miss
Season
T
41.
Season 41. Well, we can't wish her happy
Season
birthday
41,
because it's bad luck. But hey, everybody, if you're listening, go on YouTube and wish Miss T a happy birthday. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to Instagram. Just say, hey, Miss T, happy birthday. She will be turning 41 years old. Still
Good
a
times.
babe.
Good times.
Good times.
I got an eclipse just in time for my birthday.
Girl, that's the sexy time. You know what's going to happen when you get 41?
What's that?
It's going to be on, Miss T. I'm just letting you know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Your hormones are going to spike like a 16-year-old boy's.
In this economy, I don't know if I can afford that.
That's okay. You find yourself someone that can afford your spike, girlfriend. But it's going to spike completely where you're like, oh my God.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if
You'll
I like that
it.
one bit, but we gonna find out. Stay posted, everybody.
I'm ready to hear what's going to happen to you throughout this whole year because it's going to just shoot straight up. Fair warning, you're going to be like,
oh Lord,
right. I'm a 16-year-old boy. I cannot get enough. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord, break out the neem oil and the condoms, y'all.
Wait,
I'm
why?
sorry.
What are we doing with the neem oil?
Neem oil.
The neem. Y'all ever heard of that?
I know what neem oil is, but I don't know what we're using it for. That and what does that have to do with that?
So apparently neem is a contraceptive.
I don't know about that one.
You can use it as a contraceptive. It actually has studies with using it on mice to reduce fertility.
Are you
okay?
No,
and it's also in Ayurveda too.
Okay, Miss T. You know what? I know nothing.
Are you talking about putting neem up your hoo-ha? Like, how are we using this neem oil?
Either through pill, tea, or putting it up your hoo-ha. But for men, they would put it on their hoo-ha.
Okay.
Miss T.
Google it if you don't believe me.
No, we need some scientific. We cannot ask Google about neem oil. We need some scientific data. I need some citations. I need some real foundational research before we can sit here and recommend neem oil.
Most importantly, we need to make sure it's safe. It's very safe.
I will send it to you.
Send it to me. We're not saying that Doc Val is not
I'm not
condoning
telling
neem oil,
anybody to
y'all.
do anything, but here's the thing. If you are a part of a holistic community, more than likely you know what neem oil is and what it's for. So as always, ask a medical professional before you try to do anything crazy.
Absolutely. On that note, definitely ask a medical professional. I mean, I know I use neem oil as an insecticide and a fungicide,
that's what I
for my
know using it for.
plants on my
You can use
garden.
it you can use it as insecticide. You can use it for on your skin to help with acne. People have used it as a contraceptive. You can use it as something else too, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But I'll send you that. I'll send you that article. I'll go look for it and I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah. We need a real scientific research paper on using neem oil on your private parts, because I've never heard of that one. I've heard of a lot. So
I'm surprised you haven't heard of that of all people.
I have not. I mean, I've heard a lot of weird things and unusual substances, but I've always, neem oil shouldn't be used on your private parts. But hey, maybe there's something new. So education is
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you.
yeah.
I'll send you that article.
So here's the reality, you guys. If you're listening, and do you use neem oil? And that's for a contraceptive, not a lube, right?
That I do not know. I have not heard of anybody using it as a lube.
Thank goodness. But you're saying as a contraceptive.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that one. So let us know out there at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com if you're listening, if you use neem oil as a contraceptive. Never heard of it. Actually, I'm going to go on my TikTok and I'm going to ask my community that question.
You're gonna ask your people.
Yeah,
ask your people what they use neem for and if they use it as a contraceptive. By the way, Doc Val, what is your TikTok?
Oh, it is. Oh, I don't even know what it is. Let me go tell y'all real quick. Look, I got to go out here. Hold on. Let me find it real quick. Oh, my Lord. It's at Val Nefertiti. So it's the @ Doc Val Nefertiti. That's Nefertiti. I need to change that, make it a little bit more easier. But yeah, I'm going to go out there and ask people because I do community questions, if they've heard of using neem oil as a contraceptive. And you're saying men are using it?
It's a contraceptive. From what I've understand, it is a contraceptive that can be used by men and women.
Okay. All right. Fascinating. Things you didn't know that you can only find out at Brown Sugar Confessions, because we're going to give you all the real deal. So stay tuned for next week as we follow up this neem oil conversation. So what's going on with none other than beautiful KD in Wilmington, Delaware? How are you, sweetheart?
Hello, I am absolutely fabulous. Just really dealing with all this gray, rain, cold weather after having like 70 degrees in the earlier part of the month. And now here we are in the supposedly beautiful spring Easter period, and it's been nothing but gray, terrible weather.
If you're in Delaware and it's been raining for yesterday and today, and I hear it's going to be raining through next week. I don't know if that's true or not. It's updating, but yeah, we're going to be in this gray overcast for a minute. What have you been up to?
That, just wishing for warmer weather. But in the meanwhile, I have been very busy, just like kind of doing a lot with my business, doing a lot with kind of just like running around, taking care of shows, performing for those. First and foremost, most important thing that's about to happen is your girl, KD, is ramping up to potentially get some nookie soon. When I tell you that is like the highlight of my like upcoming month, I just don't know what to say.
That's
that means
right.
Chaos Agent coming home.
He's coming home, and you are ready, aren't you? More ways than one.
I'm ready. I'm starting to get my stretches together now. He need to go eat his Wheaties. That's all I know.
Yes. Get them hip mobility in.
We are happy for you, girlfriend. I cannot wait to hear. Well, I don't want to hear about your escapades, but I'm happy to hear when he hits U.S. soil and you got your boo back at home with you.
Me too. I definitely can't wait. But in the meanwhile, we got like a billion things going on. Like, first off, we have a solar eclipse. We also have like multitudes of like craziness going on in the news world. Like,
We got Mercury retrograde.
we got Mercury retrograde. We have solar storms. We had lunar eclipses, solar eclipse. We've had I feel like there's like 10 more. We've had quite a few kind of just like not just astrological, but just serious Earth-like things that's just been kind of kicking our butts left and right. And in
We
the
lost the
meanwhile,
bridge.
oh my God! How did I almost forget to say that? Like, we lost the bridge. We've had a really awful attack that's happened in Russia that is, I don't know, kind of turning into its own firestorm. We've had like all sorts of chaos going on in the Buckingham Palace. We've had 2 people come down with cancer, some of which some people say is a little questionable. Like, it's just a mess for literally everybody, everywhere. Did you guys hear about the palace drama?
I
All
heard
I
a little
know
bit.
is I don't expect the person that they say is missing, I think is still missing. Even though they're showing videos of her that she's okay, allegedly, I think she's still missing. And I'm just waiting on this eclipse to pass so we can actually find the truth.
Mm.
So you think, what's her name? Princess Kate? Is that her name, right? Catherine? Kate, right?
Yes, I think it's
Yeah.
Kate.
Kate,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. So you think, Miss T, that she is missing?
I think she's in the wind.
You think so?
I think she's in the wind. But this is my listen. You're talking to somebody who just randomly looks at things on the internet, and the math ain't mathing to me. I think she's in the wind. I hope that wherever she is safe. But I also don't trust this palace as it is in the year of our plague 2024. I don't trust them.
Mm.
What do you think, Katie?
Mm. Well, let's start off with the fact that quite a few weeks ago, and maybe even more than a month ago, they had to announce that King Charles has been diagnosed with
He got
what is it
pancreatic
called?
Cancer?
Pancreatic
Yeah.
cancer. Yeah, so
He's
he has
terminal.
Pancreatic or
pancreatic cancer.
prostate?
No,
Pancreatic.
pancreatic,
He's
Pancreatic.
terminal.
not prostate. Prostate is a typically a good chance unless you go to like stage 4 or something. But no, pancreatic cancer is very, very difficult to beat. So they gave him 2 years supposedly, and I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, he might be looking more at weeks, not years. But he does probably have access to some of the best medicine in the world, so we'll wish him luck. But on top of that, a few months ago, we had Princess Kate who went into the hospital, supposedly to get some sort of stomach surgery or some sort, and she just disappeared. She never came back. They didn't really
He's
have
in the
any
wind.
updates. And then out of nowhere, she started showing up for pictures, and like they would show something that would try to be like the back of her head, and everyone's like, yeah, that's not her. They had a picture that, if you know a little bit about Photoshop, like they literally did a terrible Photoshop job where like they
AI could have probably
photoshopped a
did better.
person's hand. I don't know. I think I could have done a better job. I think my 11-year-old child could have done a better Photoshop job than the Photoshop job that was done. Then she came out and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was me." Or her team came out and said that she was just playing around with Photoshop. So they had to admit that it was Photoshop because it was really that obvious. Then she came out with a video. And when you look at the video, she's wearing an outfit that is very similar, but not exactly similar to an outfit she wore in a previous video, with some same scenes, like background scenes and stuff like that. And it's truly giving, as they say, AI. Like they took her video took clips of that video, put it into an AI generator, and was able to create this video from that. And there's a lot of things that really make it stand out that just doesn't seem natural. So a lot of people, all of the conspiracy theory folks is like really on it, and they're like, yo, this woman's gone. She's not with us anymore. She's
I
been
believe that.
unalived or something. And then in the midst of all of this, there has been a whole lot of stuff that's come out about Prince William and some of the escapades that he has with some woman that they say has a pretty weird shaped face or whatever. And the fact that they have pretty much proven that he's been out, galloping around in the world.
Being a garden tool, that's what he's being.
Basically, he's being a garden tool out there in the world. And, as things tend to happen within the Buckingham Palace politics, wouldn't be unlike them to make her disappear. So that's kind of what's going on in the conspiracy theory streets today.
I'm not gonna lie, I am not a fan of conspiracy theories, but I believe that one. I think she's in the wind. She's a star now.
Wow. I am sitting here blown away by all this conspiracy theories that you guys are throwing out. I really don't follow the royal family so much. Only thing I do remember is that shirt that she was wearing, that striped shirt. We have seen it or in another video or something she did a few years ago, right? I remember seeing that shirt.
Because they don't recycle
but it's
clothes
not
like
the same. It looks the same until you look at it side by side and you're like, that's actually not the same shirt. And listen, it's crazy because you look at the two shirts, one of them looks like a normal shirt. The other one looks like not a shirt anyone, especially of that class, you know what I mean, would actually wear. Like it looks like the Shein version of the shirt. Just like that video kind of looks like the Shein version of her. But I digress.
Oh no.
Not the Shein version.
The Shein version.
Listen, if it's a Shein version, that should tell you right there that's a body double.
I don't think it's a body double. I honestly do think it's AI. And the thing that I think I told you guys a few weeks ago, right here on Brown Sugar Confessions, is that one of the things I've had an opportunity to explore recently was how easy it is to generate a video of yourself speaking. I could make a video, if we took a video of what we're doing today, take 10-second clips of us talking. You could then you could drop this into a program and the program will regenerate you, and all you have to do is come up with some topics. It will take your idiosyncrasies, how you tend to move your hands, clothes that you're likely to wear, and it will put it on you. It'll put words into your mouth and it can translate it into every language of the world.
That's wild.
That's where we're at, and it looks good. I got to see it with my own eyes. So for those who don't know, I kind of work in one of them little top secret areas. I can't really tell you because then I might have to you. But in the world that I work in, I get to see sometimes things that other people don't get to see. And one of the things I got to see was someone do a demonstration of this live and in action, and I was like blown away. And when I saw that, I'm like, you can't trust what you hear nor what you see anymore. It doesn't matter if you see with your own eyes. It's really that good because people are used to seeing AI that looks bad, that's done cheaply, that's done, using free software. But it's a whole different ball game when you're talking about stuff that someone, say, of the royal family would have access to, as well as your government and defense departments and things like that. So, yeah, it looks like AI to me.
Wow, and you're in that industry, so I'm leaning towards your theory of the conspiracy. So I guess it's just a matter of a waiting game to see if this mother of 3, future Queen of England, is going to step forward, because it looks like, I guess with King Charles stepping back because of his pancreatic cancer, she's the Princess Kate is stepping back because, well, we don't know if she's even here.
No, cancer. She supposedly has cancer as well.
Cancer. Okay, has cancer. So she's not doing her royal function. And then Prince William, you said, is now a garden tool to somebody else. And all you got is that Camilla, who was the side chick, who is now the face of the royal family. That is a wild
I hate to say it, but the city girls are up, man. The
Hey,
city girls
all
are
hail
up
the
1
side
million if she makes it the queen. The city girls are up by 1 million at this point.
She
You
is
can't stop
queen.
nobody.
She is already the queen, right? She already
Yeah,
has that
technically.
title.
No,
She's
Yeah.
I
she's
don't.
queen in
She's not.
title. She ain't queen in
Yeah,
job.
yeah, exactly.
That's not the title. The title, yes, but not the job. But now she is the face because the other three are not doing things. I heard on the news today because I was watching CNN. I heard King Charles did a video for like Easter for last week, but he didn't do a public appearance, only an audio. And given his age, and pancreatic cancer can be an aggressive cancer, and I'm sure he's going through. So, wow, that's a lot happening in that royal family. And
Oh
Harry
yeah,
and
and
Meghan
the
are
drama
here
has
just
not
living their
stopped.
best interracial life in the U.S.
I
Listen,
heard they're coming back too because of originally they went on ahead and got going, which I do tend to wonder why they decided they needed to leave. But now all of this drama's happening. I hear they're on their way back to the Buckingham Palace.
Wow, I didn't hear that one,
I
but
feel like
nothing.
they're gonna make him. What's the one that's over here? That's Harry, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harry.
Okay, yeah, they're probably gonna make him be the face, even though they don't want him to be the face of.
Ain't gonna be no
the
faces
Pope.
left but him here soon.
Yeah, I'm like, at this point, everybody's like, look, we don't really want you back, but we ain't got no choice. Go on and
We
come
don't
back
have
over.
a choice.
Jump the pond, come back over.
Come on
Because
back
your brother
with your
out here is
interracial
being a
wife.
garden
We'll take
tool
it.
with like his wig all the way snatched back. Your daddy's almost out the way. We can't find your sister-in-law. Like, we ain't got no choice but at least have you here until we can find somebody that can properly work this government.
Right. I guess
Basically.
they have to. He's got to be the face at least until little Prince George. That's his name, right? The little one of their, grows up because he's next in line after. I think the seventh. I mean, I think Harry's the seventh or something like that. I don't know, but he's
Because
not
weren't they trying to find
immediate.
like cousins too or something that could take the place and everybody's missing or something like that? I don't know. Like at this point, it's like, what is the point of even having a king and a queen
And a
at
queen.
this point in our civilizations? Like,
That is
this is
so
nothing but
true.
I
like
don't
soap
even. I was
opera
gonna
for
say,
all
I
of us.
really don't understand with a whole parliament why they have duties anyway. Like
That
shouldn't we have already? I mean, they were lucky that they didn't have the offs with their heads, back in the day. They kind of lucked out because there was a lot of turmoil between a lot of these royals back in the day, and we remember what happened with the Bolsheviks, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So it's like
that was like the last real drama, wasn't it? That at least got publicized was the Bolsheviks. I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So I mean, if you think about it, they kind of got off light and easy, and they were just like, "We're going to pass the government over to the parliament, but we're still here." Doing, we don't even know what are y'all doing, but y'all are still there.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
It's Game of Thrones.
did you guys see Fall of the House of Usher?
Yes.
It's giving.
No.
It's very much giving Usher.
I got to get up on all this royal family drama because I don't know the House of Usher. What's the House of Usher? Is that a movie or a show? Or is that
So
Usher
the
the
Fall of
dancer?
the House of Usher is based off of a Edgar Allan Poe story, but they did a
Okay.
series of it on Netflix that came out in October. Like what, 9, 10 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And essentially, in every episode, somebody in that family, which is last name Usher, dies, and they die in like the most terrible way. The most terrible way, based on the 7 Deadly Sins. It's a good watch. You should check it out.
Okay, the House of Usher. Wow. Okay.
The
So,
Fall of the House of Usher.
the
Yes.
fall of the House of Usher. This is kind of reminding you guys of that series.
This is the Fall of the Crown. That's what this is.
Yes. Like this could
Fall?
be season 2 of this, like for real.
Mhm.
And what else is going on in the news? We've got Diddy, but that's going to take us a few minutes to get into.
Yeah, we got to come back after
We might
the
have
break.
to come. We might have to bring that up into the next half of everything because, like I said, I feel like the energy right now, like there's just so much stuff going on. It's like truly the exposing. It's happening everywhere. I feel like everything's kind of like tense. So honestly, guys, drink water and mind your business. Stay out of
Stay
trouble. Keep
home.
your tails tucked.
Get off of the road.
Don't hop in the middle of stuff. Just lay low right now because I
Go
feel
play some
like
video games.
play some video games, watch TV,
But don't
drink
talk
water.
smack on the video games.
No, don't even do that. Don't even do that. Because right now I feel like things are just coming
Just everybody
real
go
quick.
take a nap. Go take a nap. We all need just one collective nap.
But don't take a nap on brown sugar, though. You guys keep listening and stay tuned because we've got to go pay some bills because this conspiracy theory has got me a little wiped out, and I got to do some Google searchings on like all this stuff that Katie's dropping all on us here. I'm not even sure what the heck she's talking about most of the time when it comes to AI. So I've got to do some searching. But you guys make sure you don't leave. Stay right here. Send us your emails. This is Brown Sugar Confessions, and we're going to be right back as we go in to the hot topic of Diddy.
Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Sugar Confession here on YouTube, Power 1017, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere you can find us on social media. Also, Doc Val's TikTok. What's your TikTok again, Doc Val?
It's at Doc Val Nefertiti. I need to change
Doc
the
Val
name.
Nefertiti, everybody. So remember that. Hop up there, ask her questions. This is the only time you're going to get her to answer a question for free. But if you want to reach out to her, if you got a problem, if you're something you really want to talk about that you might not be able to talk about in person or with your partner or with your family, you can always reach out to her at Valerie at swancenter.com. That is Valerie at swan with 2 N's, center.com. You can also reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. If you want to hang out, if you want to hop on the show, hey, maybe there's something about something that has to do with what we talk about that you want to come on the show and tell the world about. We're here for that. You can always reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. Also, Brown Sugar Confessions. And outside of that, let's get back into it. So
I have one thing I want to add to that before we get back into it.
Let's
so just because I noticed that we said Doc Val, just in case, because there are people who do use the word DOC. This is Dr. Val. So she has it as DR. Val Nefertiti. Find her on TikTok. I promise you won't regret it. All right, let's get into it.
All right. Once again, KD knows everything because I clearly forgot about that. I'm going to make that a hashtag. KD knows everything. Can we make that a hashtag? Can I put that on a shirt?
Sure.
I think it would sell well. If we, Radio Land, if I ever decide to make like shirts with Brown Sugar Confession and I make one that says KD knows everything, would you buy it? Let me know. Hit us up, brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com or the YouTube channel or Facebook or Instagram. Anyways, we're back into it. So we talked about the fall of the House of
Usher.
Whatever their last names are.
Usher.
No, we talked about not that fall of the House of Usher, the fall of the House of the Royal Family, whatever their last names are. I can't remember. Do they have last names?
They do, but hold on, give me a minute. I know the answer to this question. They would be
all right.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Give me 30 seconds. I'm mad I don't know this off the top of my head because I do.
That's okay.
Once again, Katie knows everything. We got to fill in time. Let's go. Doc Val, what's going on?
You know what? We're going to talk about Diddy. All right.
We're going to talk about Diddy. We got to save that for after this because that's going to be that's way more than 30 seconds.
It is going to be long. But Diddy
Windsors. The Windsors. That's who they are.
The Windsors.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
The fall of the House of Windsors. It's on our radar. Stay tuned. We will keep you guys updated once we figure out what's going on. Like we said, there are people missing. There are AI generated photos. Like people are out here with the big C. Like what is going on in Buckingham Palace? We don't know. Stay tuned for update 2 of season whatever this is and fall of the House of the Windsors. Anyways, all right. We are on to the other fall of a giant. The man,
a mogul,
the myth, the legend, the infamous P Diddy. Oh Puff my Daddy. God. I don't even really know what's going on. I just know that it's to the point that the feds are involved and that there are memes
of his downfall. And I ain't gonna lie, those memes are great. Why are we the type of people why are we at this point in society where we revel in seeing people's downfall? But I ain't gonna lie, that quality content is great for those memes, though.
It is really great. I watched one on TikTok, and it really, every time it comes up, it has me rolling. And it's the one where the guy is "Call me what you want, call me what you need." Y'all, I can't sing. It's that guy.
Oh,
What's his name?
Lil Nas X.
Yeah, Lil Nas X, and they have Diddy's face on him, at the Grammys or awards show. So he's dancing. It's hysterical. And I was like, Lil Nas's body. P Diddy said, you got to watch it on TikTok. It's really quite funny. But Katie, tell us what's happening with it. All right, go ahead, girl.
Well, when he started giving people their masters back, like, y'all remember that, right? Like, this isn't something I've just made up in the back of my mind. I feel like it was like maybe 9 months ago or so that he gave someone their masters back. And I remember at that time, I thought to myself, something's about to happen. Huh? And I swore I said it to one of you, so maybe not.
You might have said it on the show, and we're having a blind spot moment. I feel like if Tracy was here, she would be able to clarify.
Yeah. I really had the feeling that he was about to go through some serious exposure, and then a little bit after that, they had the first woman that came out and said something towards him. Mm-hmm. And I remember when he paid her off, and that went away very expeditiously. I thought, this is not going to be the end of this, and here we are today.
I remember, because I think I was watching it on TikTok or something. I hope they never get rid of that app. That app is a time bomb, and I love every minute of it. But I guess it was an interview with one of his bodyguards or somebody that was in his camp, and how he was talking about he very much is responsible for Tupac's demise.
Oh, okay, we just went a whole left field. I don't even know
when that came out, because it was like a little over a year ago, and I was like, when that came out, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. I am waiting.
Tupac?
I believe it. I want to say it was Tupac. It could have been Biggie, but I want to say it was one of the two. Because those two endings were very closely related. But I want to say that interview, because it was on TikTok, that was the only place I saw it, and I'm pretty sure it's not up there anymore. But I specifically remember that guy saying about it, and I was like, oh, this is coming out? There's repercussions behind this.
So this is not why he was raided, though. It had nothing to do with Tupac.
No, it's got nothing to do with why he was raided.
Okay.
Here's my understanding, because there's a whole lot of stuff that has started. There was an uptick in things that were related to Diddy that happened. And honestly, I really think the whole thing with TD Jakes was a straw that broke the camel's back. And this is the excuse that they're using. And the excuse is that it was human trafficking. Or not human trafficking, sex trafficking. Because it wasn't just one house that got raided. It was two on two different sides of the country.
Mm-hmm. Right.
East Coast and West Coast.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. At the same time. First of all, if they can mitigate a raid within like 3 to 4 time zones at the same time.
Yeah, serious.
They can fix this economy. I don't care what they say. They can fix the economy. If you can do that, you can do whatever. You can do anything. So what's the problem?
I what I heard is that, it was for allegedly, because we don't know, sex trafficking. Diddy was not in the houses when they raided, and he was on his private jet that, we saw. And he did. I'm not sure whether he turned himself in or they picked him up on his private jet. But I also know that today, or last week, he came out and he made a statement that it wasn't true and blase. But
wait, they found him?
Yeah, they found him. And
I thought he was in the wind still.
No, he's not in the wind. No, they found him. From what I recall, there's like Katie said earlier, like there's so much you can do with AI. You don't know if they found him or really not, to be honest.
You know what? I'm
I
about to
heard
look
one
this
news
up.
outlet they found him. The other one I heard not. So Google AI, figure it out, y'all. I don't know.
Yeah, we about to figure it out real
We're
quick. Hold
still
on.
too
Y'all keep
new in
talking.
this
I gotta
story.
figure this out.
But here's the thing, right? I mean, absolutely human trafficking, zero tolerance for it. Absolutely zero. He should be thrown under his studios if indeed he is trafficking people for sex and drugs or whatever else. There's no question about it. But before all of the human trafficking came out, there was a lot of content out there about Diddy being gay, all over, or bisexual, all on TikTok. You know, from these parties he was having, and what were they called? I forget the name of those parties he was having. And he would have his wife, who had the first, who came out and sued him, and he paid her off instantly, the ex-wife. And it came out that he would have these parties, and there would be guys there, and he was watching her have sex with other men. And then there was some compounded stories of Diddy having parties and was bisexual or gay. Here is what I just want to add to this, right? And it has nothing to do with the charges. It has nothing to do with this investigation at all. It comes back to sexuality and shame, especially among Black men. There are so many Black men that are bisexual, that are gay, that are living a heterosexual lifestyle because of all the guilt and shame around being gay in the community of Blackness, right? We need to really have a conversation around talking about Black men being okay with their sexuality. And I don't want to use the word coming out of the closet, because I'm not going to use that, but being okay with who you are sexually without it being that you are less than, because there's always this less than connotation around BIPOC people, especially when it comes to their sexuality. So that is a conversation in itself that we're going to have one day on Brown Sugar Confessions. Maybe even invite some BIPOC gay men and bisexual men to have a conversation around, you're still a man. You're still a Black man. You're still a brown man. You're still an Asian man. You are still a man. And if you choose to be bisexual or gay, it is absolutely okay. In 2024, you can stop the pretense. And we, as the women that are loving these men, have to be okay with them standing on their truth and coming out and saying, yeah, I'm bisexual. Because bisexual is a part of a lot of men's trajectory in sex. I mean, there's so many bisexual men all
I
over.
feel like having a bisexual guy would be kind of fun.
It would be, as a boyfriend, yes. Wait a minute, let me go back. Both?
It would just be fun to kind of have around. Like, you never know. Like, I know bisexual women, and bisexual women are like a vibe. I like them. They're fun. Like, I'm not even having any kind of relationship with them. They're just a vibe to be around. So I figure like bisexual men gotta be at least on that part, but you gotta be open with it at least, I would think. But even if you were to have a relationship with one, it's like how some guys and girls go check out girls, you would have somebody to check out guys with.
I will say, I agree with you. I'm going to share a story. And this story was in Holland. I think it was in Holland. And this was last year. I was teaching somewhere in Holland, and it was the oldest sex club in Europe. I think it's what it's called. And there was a whole thing about it on HBO years ago, probably when you guys were like young teenagers, but years ago.
Must have been on Real Sex.
Probably. If you Google it, it's probably there. It's in Amsterdam, I think it is where it's at, if I recall correctly. Anyway, we go to this this club, and someone Google it real quick, because I want to put the name out there, because it's the oldest sex club in Amsterdam. And I'm with a group, a whole tour group, just like maybe 40 of us in this big luxury bus. We're driving and driving and driving like an hour plus out of the city. And we come up to this little rural town, and across the street from a cornfield
Hospital
or
bar.
some kind of field. What is it?
Hospital bar.
Hospital bar. No.
That's what's coming up. Hold on, I'm gonna put it
Candy
in the
Club.
Okay. Is it Candy Club? I'm getting hospital bar.
I'm about to look it up. All right. I'm about to look it up and tell y'all what it is. But it's one of those. Anyway, get out the bus, and it is a humongous farmhouse that has like a thatched roof. It doesn't even have like a shingled roof. It has like not straw, but some kind of reeds roofing. And my husband instantly knew the kind of roof it was. It's a very old style in Europe.
Oh, I know the type of roofing. That's a really cool roof. Yes. Like it's the bunched up straw.
Yeah, it's like straw,
a thatch roof.
Rods. Yeah, I would call it a thatch roof, but it wasn't straw. It was some kind of it looked like rods to me, like reeds from a branch or something like that from the woods. Anyway, you go in here and they have an amazing buffet. The buffet was, I have to say, all hail that buffet because they had the best of the best food. No.
Casa Rosso? Does that sound familiar?
No, it doesn't. I'm going to have to look it up when we get off the air. Great food. They had a really nice nightclub. And they had, I didn't even get the full tour of it. But they said they had like 20 to 30 different type of sex rooms in this place. You had the nurses, doctors and nurses stations. You had the glory holes. They had the Kama Sutra Palace. They had the European sauna. They had every kind of apparatus you could think of. They had it. They had something like called a barnyard where you go up and you can lay in the hay that's your fantasy. They had practically every kind of fantasy room you could imagine. They had this within this club.
You imagine
I'm walking around. I'm just amazed.
Hay is very uncomfortable.
It was amazing. The pool, outstanding. It was a really beautiful place. Just aesthetically perfect. Hygiene, the way they did everything. It was just top tier. So in the Kama Sutra Palace, which was a new addition they added, speaking of bisexual, I'm going there. There was this, and I'm peeking in, right? And you have to be I think you have to be unclothed. I think I had a towel wrapped around me. And you can look. And so I'm watching this two couples play together, and they're doing whatever couples do. And all of a sudden, I catch me in the corner of the eye, and my husband nudges me. Then I see some guy on guy action. And I was like, oh, that was surprising. So it looked like they're married because there were rings on both couples. Doesn't mean anything, but it was a guy and a girl. And so then they switched up. It was two guys and then two girls. And then they did a round circle kind of thing where everyone was in everyone's orifice, like a circle. And
oh my.
Yeah.
It was like a daisy chain almost.
A daisy chain. But everyone looked like they were having a good time. It was consensual, obviously. The men were beautiful men. They were obviously bisexual men because they were also enjoying immensely their female partners. I'm talking immensely. They were enjoying them. And, and they did from oral to the back door. They did it all in this whole experience. And that was my first time watching something like that. And my husband and I, he actually kind of just turned away when the guy on guy, he was like, I'm gonna go look at the other side or something. He couldn't watch it. And, it is what it is. Not all men are comfortable watching guys have sex.
A lot of men aren't comfortable watching
guys. A lot of men
guys.
aren't. So he walked away. He only saw the oral part, but I stayed and I wanted to watch. I'm like, I was looking at it from the context of the women were enjoying watching these men, or they were enjoying watching their males be intimate with each other. And they looked like they were enjoying it. And it looked like everyone was having a great time. And I was thinking to myself, from a point of relationships, isn't that the way it should be? Like, you can go to your partner and say, you know what, I'm bisexual and I want to have an experience. I don't want to cheat. I want to let you know straight up. Do you want to join? Do you want to watch? Or I just want to let you know. And being honest and open about it. Isn't that how it should be? And
that's how it should be, but there's a lot of things that keep it from being that way, and a lot of it is social stigmas.
Absolutely. That's why there needs to be a conversation around, breaking those stigmas that we have. And as I said, my own husband, he walked away as the guys got more involved. He's like, it's not for me. And, like I said, I get it. It's not his thing to enjoy and watch. It doesn't affect him at all. But I just believe that if we get to a point, in 2024 going forward, where we're just honest with each other, because this is a year of, I've heard this all over the place, that things are going to be revealed. Everyone's going to get revealed. This is a year, right? So if that's the case, and you know what, guys, stop being on, what's the word, down low? That's probably played out by now. Stop being on the down low.
It's not.
It's not. Okay. Be open. Try to have a conversation around that. And maybe the lesson of this show, and I'm going to throw this out here, I'm just thinking of as I go along, like, how do you have that conversation? All right, let's set a scenario. We've got 3 minutes. Give me an answer, each one of you. You're married, or you're in a relationship with a guy. He sits down and he says, I want to have a conversation about my sexuality, right? How would you react if your partner came to you and said that to you? Miss T, how would you react?
I guess the question would be, what about your sexuality? If he says he's into men,
I'd be like, okay, he's bisexual.
All right. Are you seeing any men now?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Fair enough.
If he says no, then it's like, okay, cool, we can proceed.
Okay.
If he says yes.
So you want to know if he's seeing somebody behind your back.
Right.
Okay.
Because think about it like this. If it's supposed to be that I am with this person, I'm supposed to be with this person for the rest of my life, I'm supposed to know, like, and trust this person. I can't trust you if you're hiding secrets. If you're hiding secrets, if this is the secret that you're trying to reveal now, what else are you hiding from me? At this point, all cards need to be on the table before I can decide whether I'm going to stay in this relationship and play the role that I agree to play, or if it's time for me to get up and get out.
Would you had rather have known in the beginning or not being told at all?
I would have rather known in the beginning.
Okay. Fair enough.
But that's me. I'm like, I need to know, if I'm going to know, like, and trust you and be with you for the rest of my life, I need to know everything. I need to know if there are bodies, where the bodies potentially are, if there are any, hidden families, hidden children, I need to know all the things. You got offshore bank accounts? This is no Risa Tisa, who the F did I marry type situation. I need to know everything. And if I got to get KD on the case, if I can't trust you, then there's going to be extra problems.
All right. Well, what about you, KD?
All right. So I'm kind of where she is at. And this is the reason why, because I ask very concise questions when I get to know people. Like, I will ask you straight up, so have you ever had any oral relationships with a guy before? And throw them all the way off. And I'm usually looking for facial expressions and tics and things like that to see if I see any
Freudian slips,
whatever. So because I typically am very clear and ask a lot of questions very early on in a relationship, if I then found out that you were lying, especially after I've said, hey, listen, look, I am very open and willing to understand these things, and then you spent many years lying, and then I find out later that you were lying, we would have a little bit of a problem. So the question would be, okay, well, is there someone else right now that you're seeing? What's going on? How come you didn't ask me the 5,000 other times I've asked you these types of questions? So I would want to get some clarity as to the way of thinking, how much I'm in the dark about, because I do have issues with not being honest about things. That said, I do have a little bit of understanding and empathy for the fact that guys are typically stigmatized for that and don't feel comfortable. They don't even feel, most of them don't even feel like comfortable talking about their sexuality at all.
Most of them aren't comfortable washing their own booty holes.
Oh, yes.
Listen, if you can't touch your own booty hole, then we got a problem. So that means if I know you are uncomfortable washing your booty hole, and then you're going to come to me and tell me that all of a sudden you are bi and or gay, and I am married to you, that leads me to a whole bunch of other situations, because that makes me think, if you are like this, now I gotta be like this because you might have endangered my health, and I don't know.
Right. So for me, if that was me, I would honestly ask him, what about me prevented you from telling me the truth? That's my question. Like, who was I?
Yes, that's important.
What about me made you be so fearful to come to me to be honest? Because I'd want to change that about me. That's the first thing I would say.
Sometimes it's not. That's the other thing. Sometimes it's not about you.
It ain't.
No, but I would want to know. That would be my first question. Like, what about me that prevented you from feeling like you could trust me with this conversation? We're intimate. We're in love. We're looking at a future. But what about this? And he might say it's not about you, but I'm going to ask that question first. And then once I get that question answered, and if he says, it's because Val, you always are judgy, you make little side comments, I don't know how you take it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what he may say. I don't know.
Then he might say that, and he might just be like, you might just been easy to fool. We don't know.
It could be. So then I would simply say to him, I love you irregardless of who you are sexually. And we can be whoever we can be in our relationship with honesty, creativity, if we have to be, and we'll figure it out. But I don't want you to feel like you can't be yourself in our relationship. And I think that when we close out this show, this should go to anyone that's listening. You have to get to a point where the guilt and shame and the fear of being rejected is minimal compared to you being your authentic self. You've got to be okay to put it out there. And if she is not the one you can talk to about, then that's a question you have to ask yourself. Like, why can't I?
No, that's a sign to run.
Yeah. Why can't I open up to her? What am I afraid of? And maybe next week we'll go into how to have that conversation, how to lead into it. Because that's also a question I've gotten. How do I tell my partner I'm bisexual? So I think that's where we're going to leave it. So you know what we say, guys? This has been a great conversation about, sexuality, Diddy, Buckingham Palace, the Windsors, all this good stuff. But you know what we say on Brown Sugar Confession? Always, always, always stay safe and play safe. And we're going to see you next week. Bye-bye for now, guys. Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.